Hello, I'm Jordyn Noennig.
And I'm Álvaro Niña Guzman. Here's what's coming up next on PantherVision.
You know, it'd be nuts to quit this job.
Actually, he has. And the voice of Panthers basketball is taking dead aim at the athletic department.
When I heard that she just continued to pile on somebody that she fired a month ago, that was it.
We have expanded coverage of UWM's dwindling budget and how it will affect you. There's no place like home. We'll take you back to the hang for men's baseball and plants with fillings. All that and more next on UWM PantherVision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM PantherVision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. Now, the news.
Hello. He may have resigned as UWM's play-by-play announcer, but his voice is still being heard.
Bill Johnson's harsh comments are still echoing in the sports world.
PantherVision's Miela Feita has the story.
If you think Bill Johnson is an ordinary radio announcer, think again.
Jobs go. I mean, this right could be like delivering the Wall Street Journal or something, you know? Much rather do this.
And if you think his resignation was anything ordinary, think again.
Because Amanda's wanted to fire Rob ever since she got on campus.
In an epic Instagram post, Johnson compares UWM's athletic department to the Titanic. A lover of the game and his job, Johnson was the voice of UWM's men's basketball for 16 years.
They're going to have to pry the microphone out of my cold, dead hand. So, it'd be nuts to quit this job.
But after 16 seasons, Johnson has called it quits.
I've known what's been going on behind the scenes.
He credits athletic director Amanda Braun's firing of coach Rob Jeter as the final straw.
Job one for her the day she stepped on campus was to fire Rob Jeter.
Johnson says a lack of support caused tension between Braun and Jeter.
It was a bad relationship from the beginning, and it never got any better.
Despite Johnson's opinion on Braun, he hopes nothing but success for the basketball team.
I want these guys to succeed, because I have developed relationships with all of them, and I like them.
He has some advice for the next radio announcer.
Be smarter than me. Keep your mouth shut. But no, what I would say is just enjoy the ride. And
before Johnson hangs up his mic for the last time, he has one thing left to say.
Amanda, I wish you the best of luck on your next job, and I hope it comes very soon.
In Milwaukee, I'm Miela Feita for PantherVision.
Athletic director Amanda Braun took the brunt of Johnson's wrath.
PantherVision's Ticia Musinga got the chance to talk to Braun and join us now with her reactions. Ticia?
Thanks, guys. UWM Athletic Director Amanda Braun has been under fire lately. Braun has received heavy criticism in recent weeks, most recently from Johnson. I got the chance to talk with Braun and ask her questions about Johnson's allegations that she went after Coach Rob Jeter since she first got the job.
Correct? Absolutely not. Okay. I'm actually insulted by that insinuation. So we've done everything we can to support that program and that staff. And unless somebody has proof otherwise, it would be really, really a good idea for people to stop saying that, because it's not true. I was very, very supportive of the men's basketball program.
The example that I'll give was for the Minnesota game this year. You're playing against a Big Ten opponent, and the athletic director arranged for one of the head coach's biggest critics to sit right behind the Milwaukee bench. And yeah, so I mean, why would you do that? I don't know. I guess you'd have to ask her.
This is nonsense. Whatever people are saying, you may want to try to corroborate their facts, because this is, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's not a place of good intentions. Don't know. I think you might want to do some more investigation about his intentions around whatever it is that he's trying to achieve.
Okay. Did you guys have a good relationship? Were you guys okay?
Yeah, I thought he was a good guy. He had gone through some health issues. I made sure to check in on him every time I saw him, see how he was doing, and I never had any issues with him.
After the interview, Chris Zills, Associate Director of Athletics Communication, followed us into the hallway and berated us for asking Braun a tough question. Back to you, Jordyn and Alvaro.
Wisconsin public universities are starving.
In blunt words, UWM Chancellor is laying out an ominous future. It comes as part of a report that all chancellors submitted their Board of Regents. In it, Chancellor Mark Monet warns that failing infrastructure threatens campus capability and presents safety concerns. He also says program accreditation, as well as UWM's top research designations, are at risk. Monet claims that UWM's overwhelming faculty is resulting in diminished course offering and continues to swallow class sizes.
The reports were supposed to be presented in person to the Board of Regents, but at last minute, UW System President Ray Cross canceled the presentations. Cross was criticized on social media because his decision to cancel came after rehearsals. During the rehearsals, Cross pressed a no whining button repeatedly, and then eventually decided to cancel the presentations.
We have team coverage of the budget crisis tonight, as PantherVision investigates how UWM is handling cuts to its already lean budget. We all start with reporter Matt Campbell, who looks at the impact on faculty on the teaching staff.
You may have seen her around campus or on TV reporting with WTMJ.
Today, I just got done teaching an almost 3-hour class, and I'm going to shoot a story with WTMJ in an hour.
Jessie Garcia is a limited-term instructor at UWM and enjoys the combination of teaching and reporting.
So, I can do both in one day and have a lot of examples for them.
But next semester, it's likely she'll be signing off at UWM.
I was just really disappointed that day.
UWM is reducing the amount of limited-term staff, but does not yet anticipate faculty layoffs. But some faculty are still concerned with possible faculty workload policy changes.
A lot of policies are being added that fall outside of democratic governance and actually increase the power of administration. Mm-hmm. And that's really not about saving money. That's about changing the structure and democratic governance of the university.
Faculty are currently expected to teach 2 to 4 classes, depending on their research and other service obligations to the university. Some fear that number will increase, leaving less time for faculty's other commitments.
Student org, service, independent studies.
Overall, Garcia thinks this is a no-win situation for anybody.
And students, first and foremost, parents who are footing the bill, adjunct professors who have a lot to offer, and also full-time regular professors, because their workload is going to increase.
In Milwaukee, I'm Matt Campbell for PantherVision.
With the cuts, certain UWM buildings are having difficulties maintaining their infrastructure.
We have 2 reporters, starting with Brooke Moret, who takes a look on how 2 chemistry buildings need serious renovations.
A tight budget and a growing student population do not make a good combination. UWM's southwest quadrant, including the chemistry and EMS building, were built in 1970 and 74. The buildings have failed to keep up with changes in education and student needs. Water leaks, airtight doors, and electrical malfunctions are just a few problems in the UWM chemistry building. 1,500 students use the chemistry building per semester. Although they are safe, there are operational issues, says chemistry department chair Peter Gissinger.
They are old, and everything is outdated. All the support infrastructure is just failing.
The chemistry building is identified as the most urgent need for action, with EMS coming in close with their very own problems, says freshman Landon Weller.
Like the lecture halls are a little outdated. You can't really hear the professor.
Not only can the building not support adequate internet network connections, but classroom media is not easily accessible for students. There is one reason they all agree on as to why these problems are not being fixed.
Budget cuts, money,
every building project all backed up. Nothing was funded last year, and so there's a long backlog from all over UW's system.
These difficulties are not limited to the chemistry and EMS buildings. As Jordyn Noennig investigates, there is another college on campus that lacks the nurture and care its students are renowned for providing.
Among the fastest growing majors at UWM are professions in healthcare and nursing.
Come in.
For UWM's nursing school to keep up with the student demand, they will need more space, according to the director of the Nursing Learning Resource Center, Sarah Morgan.
We turn away qualified students every semester because we don't have the space.
For important hands-on lab work, they can only admit about 8 students per classroom, and the nursing floor in Cunningham Hall is at capacity.
We only have 2 high-fidelity simulation rooms, so it really limits what we can offer to students. If we were to move over to the Northwest Quadrant, we could have multiple simulation spaces.
And what more perfect space than the former Columbia Hospital purchased by UWM in 2010 for $20 million. The building, now called the Northwest Quadrant, has finished classrooms, offices, and a childcare center, but the rest of the building needs work, said Director of Campus Planning and Management, Claude Schutte.
Well, the major problem why we can't use those spaces is it doesn't have the right fire system for exiting and fire sprinklers in today's codes.
More than half of the building is left unused. The school estimates it would need $200 million to open the entire building.
We need money to renovate that. We don't have the money to do that.
Although the school may not be spending money on renovations, they are spending nearly $1 million to maintain the unused space.
The unusable areas would cost us something, yes, because we still have to heat it and, heat it and air condition it.
UWM has requested $60 million from the state to update code regulations and open a few more classrooms. In Milwaukee, I'm Jordyn Noennig for PantherVision.
While this may be the biggest cut in UWM's history, it isn't the only one they had to work through.
And as I found out, this cut has unique challenges to tackle.
Figure out the fair value. You get what I mean?
Not a lot of people like numbers, but accounting professor Paul Fisher doesn't seem to mind.
So what I had to do is average together.
He has a sense of humor when he teaches, but he doesn't laugh when it comes to budgets.
We can't sustain any major cuts.
The accounting program at UWM has a strong accreditation record, but Fisher fears that could be compromised with larger class sizes and less student counseling.
But we have to, maintain our ratios and our coverage.
The harsh budget restraints are nothing new to UWM. The university has seen budget cuts for the last 5 years.
It was very difficult for Wisconsin. It was right in the heart of the recession.
After losing about $15 million that year, news of a UW Reserve Fund broke. Most of UWM's money was already allocated for projects, but the state legislature froze tuition nonetheless.
And everybody took this largest budget cut in history and the 2-year tuition freeze in that 13-15. And I think everybody thought, okay, economy is doing better. We can prepare for better days ahead.
But instead, the UW system received the largest budget cut in the system's history. Already for the next budget, UWM is preparing for the worst.
Given our history, we are preparing ourselves for all possibilities.
It's too early to know, but it may soon be too late.
People are leaving or they're not staying, and it's all about the money.
In Milwaukee, I'm Jordyn Noennig for PantherVision.
Compare what you just paid for them a minute ago with what they were issued for.
UWM springs into Earth Week with festivities on campus.
And the university upgrades its wheels.
Find out more when we return on PantherVision.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
As many as 193 countries celebrate Earth Day every year.
And there's a great way to celebrate right here at UWM.
PantherVision's Rebecca Pentontin takes us there.
Over 100 different plant families. We're talking about a lot of biodiversity here. The Conservation Club wants to shed light on a unique feature here at UWM during Earth Week.
I actually didn't even know there was a greenhouse until I was brought up it was brought up in Conservation Club. And
That's right, UWM has a greenhouse. Student Jeffrey Marshall got the message.
A tour like this, so when I heard about it, I was fascinated because I've been to plenty of botanical gardens before, and the fact that we have one on campus is a definite perk. It's cool.
Christine Kellenhofer is the vice president of the Conservation Club and says it's beneficial for the students and the community.
I'd say it's a preservation of some really interesting species. It also is huge for research and just a really great way of bringing the community together.
Among these species, some are 50 years old. Others are bred from stem cuttings, also known as propagation. And some even have feelings, like the sensitive plant. To the Conservation Club, Earth Day is more than just one day. It's a lifestyle.
Anyone's more than welcome to join Conservation Club. We're definitely a community.
In Milwaukee, I'm Rebecca Papenthien for PantherVision.
The greenhouse tour was one of the main activities included in UWM's Earth Week.
UW-Madison police are now apologizing for arresting a student during class. As we told you last week, police arrested a student on suspicion of spraying graffiti on campus buildings. Police have issued an apology to the student body, saying they are reviewing the actions of officers and department procedures related to classroom contacts. Students collected 500 signatures calling for more action from the university, including resignation of officers involved. Late last week, hundreds of students walked out of class in protest.
A 23-year-old Milwaukee man is facing charges after an attempted armed robbery in Marquette's student union. The suspect walked into the U.S. Bank, implied he was carrying a weapon, and demanded money. He then fled to foot but was arrested by Marquette's University Police Department at the nearby Walgreens. A campus alert was sent to the students, and no one was injured.
MATC's Dream Keepers program is designed to help students in financial crisis stay in school. And as Zara E. Perez reports, the program is providing a helping hand to those in need.
MATC is now offering the Dream Keepers program, which is relatively new but beneficial to those who might need its help.
A program that was started in 2012 by the Great Lakes Higher Education Corporation. The Dream Keepers program is really designed to help students that may be experiencing an unforeseen financial emergency.
Some of the covered expenses are from rent to utilities.
It's a great program, and it kept me in school.
Definitely, I will take advantage of the program because I always commend anyone that's having problems at home or any bills. If it's offered, I say take advantage of it.
Qualifications for the program are simple.
If a student is Pell eligible, have a 2.0 or better GPA, so it means that that they would have to have at least a C average going, and then the application is done online.
I used it when finances were low and I needed to pay my electric and phone bill.
Make sure to see what MATC has to offer because we do have programs for people that need help.
There's definitely a need. Milwaukee is the fourth poorest city in the United States, and our students are living in urban Milwaukee, so you can imagine the need is pretty high.
For the MATC report, this is Sarai Perez.
The program provides students with financial assistance in areas such as housing, healthcare, and food.
Some UWM architecture students are in the national spotlight. The team took second place in a design contest. The contest asked students to create a model for a self-sustaining, energy-efficient house. The winning team was from Prairie View and AM University in Texas.
The UWM shuttle system works around the clock to provide students with the necessary transportation to and from campus. And as Matt Campbell reports, they got a new look this semester.
UWM sophomore J.P. Rusilla lives about a mile and a half away from campus in the Cambridge resident halls, making Rusilla rely on university housing shuttles to get to campus.
I know a couple people struggle with it, like getting to class on time because the shuttles sometimes are late, so.
Rusilla gives himself around an hour to catch the shuttle to campus, and this spring, Rusilla's ride got an upgrade.
I do not know when the shuttles are going to come. It's more of a random sort of thing. They don't have a schedule, so whenever the shuttle gets here, I get on.
University Transportation Director Prasanna Nanda says this upgrade was a necessary one.
For those buses, it's the mileage and the wear and tear. It's that you stop, and in short distance, stop. And for those kinds of buses, it's just they're continuous, 7 days a week, and it's almost 24 hours. And so those buses are in service all the time.
The old shuttles were purchased about 5 years ago, and the lifespan of those has come to an end, forcing the university to find an alternative.
I enjoy the white shuttles more. They're more roomy and there's a lot more seats.
All shuttle drivers now are right-way employees, but many are still UWM students. Student or non-student, Nanda ensures all bus drivers are qualified.
I mean, our number one goal is to make sure that all the users, the housing residents, are able to get to campus and back to their halls in time.
Overall, the campus seems to be embracing the new set of wheels. I'm Matt Campbell for PantherVision.
Luis de Leon joins us with a look at our weather.
Thank you, guys. And we've been seeing those temperatures staying very comfortable in the 60s lately, but that trend's going to end today, so we're going to be seeing a kind of a drop in temperatures later this week. So.
All right, well, at least it's not snow.
Yeah, definitely no snow. We can't always hope for that. So as for your weather headlines, we're going to be seeing a drop in the temperatures, even though we saw a very warm week of weather last week. But since the low pressure system will be coming and going throughout this week, going to cause rain and creating a cooler drop of air after the wet weather subsides, definitely going to be a very active week of weather. So got to keep the umbrellas handy. Stepping outside right now, taking a look outside, overcast skies with that sunshine peeking through in just a few spots with the temperature right now. Staying comfortable at 60 degrees with the dew point at 40. As for the rest of today, going to be seeing the temperature increasing just a little bit for your high. Now, I don't believe we won't be getting above 66, but we are going to list that high at 66 with a low of 48. Precipitation chance at 70%, so we are going to be seeing rain formulating throughout the day and into the evening hours. So as for your lows across the state, seeing a very cool day across the state, starting up north in Rhinelander with that low of 38. Green Bay 40, Oshkosh 44, here in Milwaukee 48, out in the state capital 46. Moving by the state border in La Crosse 51, and Eau Claire 44. As for your highs across the state, seeing temperatures really ranging all around from the 50s all the way up to 70. Starting up north in Rhinelander with a high of just 50 degrees today. Green Bay 58, Oshkosh 64, getting close to the lake down here in Milwaukee with a high of 66. Out in the state capital 73, La Crosse 72, and in the state border Eau Claire 67. So as for tonight, rain is going to be occurring, but it's going to end after midnight. But the clouds are going to stick around into tomorrow morning. Low of 48. Wind's going to be calming down a little bit, coming out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So as for tomorrow, as I said before, clouds are going to stick around. This is when we're going to really see that temperature start to drop with a high of 52. Winds coming out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour, so the winds are going to steadily increase throughout the week. As for Wednesday, that sunshine is going to peek through just for a little bit in the morning hours, and the clouds are going to reform and formulate some rain throughout the evening hours with a high of 56. Temperature is going to steadily be increasing back up with winds coming out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So as for your extended forecast, the wet weather is going to continue. As Thursday, we are seeing rain on and off throughout that day, mainly seeing rain more in the morning, and along with this, as you can see, a huge temperature drop. Not going to be seeing temperatures reaching above the mid-50s. Friday, partly cloudy skies, seeing some sunshine there. And for your weekend, seeing rain both Saturday and Sunday with highs in the low to mid-50s. So a very active week for sure.
Who doesn't like a wet spring?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Well, coming up in sports, UWM's baseball players is providing a much needed spark for his team.
And later, some interesting cuisine at MATC.
All that when we return on PantherVision.
Let's go do this.
At MATC, we award lots of degrees, but not everyone makes it to our big ceremony.
Samantha, I own lamb.
Thanks to the hands-on training they receive from industry experts, many of our grads are already hard at work.
Michael Roman.
But that's okay. They end up with something even more rewarding than a diploma.
Caesar Augusto Olmos.
A career. MATC. Redefine smart.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
A baseball doubleheader. Track records broken and the end of the tennis season.
Brooke Moret joins us with more details. Brooke?
Thanks, guys. The baseball team is finally home after a long spring on the road. They split the doubleheader on the road last weekend. With new turf and new players, some veterans are becoming much-needed leaders. Elizabeth LaPointe reports.
It's the end of a semester, but the start of a new season. The Milwaukee Panther baseball team is finally back home and breaking in their new turf. Head coach Scott Doffick tells us more about the team's attitude being home after a 31-game stretch.
It is what it is. What are you going to do? We just have to make the best out of it.
With a new season, it is definitely bringing the Panthers new changes.
22 of the 35 guys we have on this roster are new to Division I baseball. 22 out of 35, that's an extreme number.
Out of the few veteran players, there is one name that comes to mind.
Dalton. Dalton Varsho?
Number 10, Dalton Varsho is in his second year as a catcher for the UWM baseball team. Dalton Varsho was a member of the 2015 Horizon League All-Freshman team.
Comes from a very good pedigree. His dad was a major league player. Grew up around the game, but more than anything, he works his butt off. And I think his success is just a reflection of how much he cares and how much he puts into it.
It might only be his second year, but Varsho takes on a leadership position.
I guess it's just having everybody follow the same path as I am. Just playing your hardest every day and don't let up.
Varsho takes a freshman catcher, Matt Quartel, under his wing.
I would just say in practice, just kind of, sometimes our coaches are a little bit more direct, just get something done, but he would kind of give me small pointers to kind of help you out.
In Milwaukee, I'm Elizabeth LaPointe for PantherVision.
UW Milwaukee has a new record in track and field. Senior Brett Puzolinski set the high jump record at a meet in Terre Haute, Indiana. It took him 3 tries to clear 7 feet 1 1/2 inches. Puzolinski is one of the top high jumpers in the nation, and he won Horizon League Athlete of the Week. 6 UWM athletics teams are batting 1,000. The NCAA reports that the teams scored a perfect 1,000 academic progress rate for the 2014 to 2015 academic year. 223 Panthers have a 3.0 GPA. 28 scored a spotless 4.0. The UWM women's tennis team is gearing up for the Horizon League tournament. The team wrapped up its regular season with a doubleheader in Ohio. The Panthers won both matches last weekend and finished with a record of 12-9. The league tournament starts next weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Former Panther All-American Lori Bell is now a European pro. Bell signed a professional contract with the Swedish Division II soccer team. Last year, Bell played in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Bell was a first-team All-American at UWM as a junior and second-team as a senior. He was also named an academic All-American 2 consecutive years. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
MITC celebrates International Ethnic Week each year to showcase their diverse and inclusive student body.
And as MATC's Marcelo Martinez reports, one way they celebrated was with unique cooking classes.
April 20th, and I am standing in front of room M604 at the MATC downtown campus, where it is World Languages and Cultures Club Day. Chef Patricia Whalen is celebrating this day with a cooking demonstration of her own, with a little help from fellow students.
Today I'm helping Chef Whalen with a Thai chicken soup.
It is probably the most popular soup from Thailand. This soup has coconut milk as a base and chicken stock, but the coconut milk, I think, is what really sets it apart from most of the American-style soups that we're familiar with. Well, this soup is not a difficult soup to make. Basically, you have to do a lot of chopping and, that sort of prep, but otherwise it all goes into a bowl.
There are different ways to celebrate your individual culture, but Patricia believes there's one common bond between all cultures.
Well, my culture is Japanese American. As third generation, I don't have the language, but I still have the taste of the food. And so I think with most cultures, it's the food that stays with you the longest. And, it's which is wonderful. Then we can still enjoy that and share it with others. So good.
I hope you enjoyed that delectable demonstration. For PantherVision, I'm Marcelo Martinez.
Thank you for tuning in for tonight's edition of PantherVision.
You can watch us on Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99.
We are at 5:30 on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and at 9:30 on Mondays and Fridays.
Have a great week.